y'all, Natalie here today, and I am creating a fun page about my son and just some of the little quotes or things that he often says. Right now at this point in his life, he's 8, and so let's get started. I'm using this paper from Cocoa Vanilla Studio. It's from the Legendary collection. I've been hoarding it a little bit, but I love this emblem. I don't know, this like kind of tribal circle element, and so I'm going to cut it out on the triangles, and then I realized that I can also use that lime green side. I initially chose the paper for the lime green side because the background of the photo has a bunch of green in it, and so I really liked that I could just flip over the medallion and it kind of fits back in to the cutout space. So I have these cool little thought bubbles or word bubbles that I edited with his quotes in the Over app. Actually, I think it's called the GoDaddy Studios app, which I feel like is a poor name choice, but they didn't ask me. So if there is interest on how to do something like that, maybe I can make a tutorial at some point if there's enough interest. I'm actually going to stamp on the background of my layout, which is not something I typically do because it is very fearful of like ruining a layout, but I'm going to do it and it turns out fine. So that's kind of the idea of what it's going to look like. I'm showing you all the stamps. Those are itty bitties from Stampendous from the Cherry on Top store, and they're great for filling in the blanks of a title. So I'm going to go ahead and stick down my paper. So I stick the green stripe down flat, and then I am going to pop up the gray medallion with dots and all my stamps stuck to the back of it. Those skinny letter word stamps are from Jen Shao, Crafty Jen Shao, and the larger word letter stamps are from Studio Calico. So I'm just popping that up on some foam. I put a lot around the edges, and because it doesn't fit quite right in the background because it is like the mirror image, but it's close enough, so it works. So there's the photo. I'm going to pop that up, and I'm going to put the title there above the photo. I did decide to use my Tim Holtz stamping platform to stamp it because I felt like it is textured cardstock, so it needed like 2 stamps, and I wanted a crisp, clear image. So it is nice because the 12 by 12 paper can kind of like stick out of the sides of that stamping platform, so I like that. So I'm using my T-square to kind of line up the bigger words there to make sure that they're on like a straight line, and leaving room in the middle to add in the little words that are the rest of the title, which is Fluent in so many words. Y'all, my kids talk a lot. They have to get that from their father, I know. So I'm using Lime Rookie from Catherine Pooler to ink those stamps up and press down real good because you could see like for a second there it wasn't printing the T. So that is a couple stamps for sure. For the smaller stamps, because they are so tiny, I'm just going to do them on the stamping block. They don't need 2 stamps. I am going to get out a little scrap of paper to test everything out and make sure I have all the letters in the proper order first because I don't want to ruin my background. So finishing up stamping here, and I'm going to create a pocket behind the photo because I do want to elaborate on some of these quotes because some of them are very strange and they need some clarification and just little funny stories that go with some of them as well. So I just grabbed this blue paper and I'm just kind of snipping the edge and bringing it in and then folding it over to create like a little envelope. It's super, super simple. But yeah, that's what I do. And I just trim it to be a little bit larger than my photo so that the blue peaks around the photo. He has blue on his shirt, so that brings in the photo colors as well as it just adds an additional color to the page with which to embellish. So trim that down to finish up the envelope. And I'm going to show you here in a second that a 3x4 card can fit inside. So my plan is to print my journaling on a 3x4 card, probably stick a tab at the top so that it will be noticeable that there is additional journaling back there, so any viewer can look at my page and say, oh, I want to know what this means, and pull out the little tabby and read the journaling. And there it is. I'm super happy with that. So I stick that down, I stick the photo on top of it, and then I stick it down to the background. And I add some splatter. So I bring in that blue as a third blue element. It looks like the second blue element, but the third is going to be a sticker down on the left. And then I also add the lime green splatter and some gray splatter. So those are pretty much the only 3 colors that I have on the page. And then I start adding in my quote bubbles. So that one's going to go right on top of the photo just because there's negative space, and I felt like it was a good fun spot to put it. And it looks like he's literally saying that because I do hear that from him all the time. Mommy, you want to hear something funny? Followed by something he thinks is hilarious. And now I'm going to pop up all of the rest of the quote bubbles on a couple of strips of pop dots or pop tape to kind of meet with that medallion that I've put on there. And I like the texture that it gives, or the dimension. That's the word I'm looking for, the dimension. So now I'm going to pull off the backing of that tape and put everything down. I won't make you watch all of that. These compilation kind of pages do take a while and some thought, because obviously he didn't say all of these things at once. But they're some of my favorites, and they really are a good snapshot of who he is at this time in his life. And it's just a really great way to remember your kids. So important stories are important to tell, but like also a little compilation of just like a snapshot of who they are right now. Anyone, not even your kids, your grown adult self. It's cool to do. So I'm using some stickers from the Keeping It Real set from Pink Fresh Studio. I'm going to layer up that stamp on, or on that sticker on 3 different stickers there. I'm using a die cut from an old Pink Fresh Studio about being curious. I stuck that Keeping It Real sticker on the right. I'm going to go back in and pull it up. Those cardstock stickers are great because they're really thick and it can withstand that, because I decided to put a little banner behind it just to make it stand out a little bit more. And you can see that little heart tag that I put above the photo there. That's going to be, it was a die cut, and I'm going to just attach it to my journaling card so it's easy to pull out and that the reader realizes that there's additional information to be read. But I think that's about it. So let me know if you have any questions. I hope you're inspired to kind of create a compilation page of a bunch of little things that kind of give you a snapshot of who you are at this time, who your kid is, who your husband is, who your pet is. You know, we all go through phases, and we all go through, you know, times in which we do more of something or say more of something. So it's kind of fun to remember that, because you might look back a few years later and say, oh my goodness, I haven't thought about that in forever. So I'm going to link down below with my affiliate link if you would like to go purchase any of these products. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I love for you guys to comment, and please like and subscribe. Bye y'all.